So it's time for you to give it a go and see how you might assemble some of these different components we've talked about into a real-world solution. So your challenge is, let's imagine you work for a really big website that gets a lot of traffic, and some manager wants to get a graph every day of how many total sessions were hit on your website each day. Now, a session is basically how many unique users hit the website for some short period of time. So we'll define what that means more specifically later, but basically it's a session of usage by an individual on your website, and they want to know how many times a user has interacted with a given website over the period of a day. And for some reason, they don't want to use an existing service for this, like Google Analytics, where you could just plug it in and use that for free in most cases. But sometimes your website is so big that off-the-shelf cloud solutions just can't cut it. It won't scale, or it won't be cost-effective, or there might be competitive reasons why you wouldn't want to expose that sort of data outside of the organization. So this is a real problem, and one that I've actually seen myself in the past. So the requirements, we only need to run this once a day. We just need to get a report once a day based on the previous day's activity on the website. And we are defining sessions as traffic from a given IP address within a sliding 1-hour window. Sliding 1-hour window based on stateful data? Spark Streaming and similar systems can do that quite easily. Now let's assume that your existing weblogs do not have session data in them. In the real world, they might. You might have some sort of a log processor that's running automatically and giving you that information, but let's imagine that you don't have that luxury. You need to figure out what a session is and assign sessions in real time as it comes in. Also, working backwards from the customer, who is our customer? It's just this manager, and we're just going to be using this data for analytic purposes and internally. So we're not talking about vending this data to a massive amount of people at very high, strict requirements for transaction, for latency rather, and we don't even need really high availability. If it goes down for an hour or two, that's fine. I'm sure the manager in question can wait an hour for a report if he needs to. So pretty lax requirements here. So given that, how would you do it? Well, consider, all you really need is a daily SQL query run automatically, but the thing is that query needs a table that contains session data. So the trick here really is just building up that information about sessions as they come in and maintaining a table somewhere that keeps track of sessions as they are encountered throughout the day. So doing that at scale kind of demands real-time processing and some sort of a streaming solution. Hint, hint, hint. So go off and give it a go. And when we come back, we'll see how I solve this problem and compare it to your approach. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. So think creatively and work backwards.